Good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is Travis Evans here, and this show is called Against All Odds. And this to bring to light the situations and the perils that we face who are disabled in this country. And I have with me Robin Rodriguez. She's going to talk about the marriage penalty. She's going to talk about how she was not get married because it would have her income and she would not be able to live. So, Miss Rodriguez, what situation you were in?
Well, the situation was that my at that time boyfriend fiance, we were living together and had wanted to get married, but in contacting like Social Security, it's kind of crazy because they determine, what you're eligible for as a single individual, what you would need to survive. But, one day that's okay. But if you get married, the next day they're saying now that you're married, you need less money to survive. And in my case, because I made a few dollars more, and I do mean a few, um, he would have been penalized. They would have removed about $500 a month from what he was currently getting as also somebody on disability. Now, I mean, we were living to the point. I mean, we weren't. There were no extravagancies. There was no going out and running around and doing all kinds of crazy things. It was just day to day living. And some months, if things came up, you barely got through. So I don't understand why they would think just because getting married all of a sudden now you need $500 less a month as a couple. That just doesn't even make sense. You
And
know?
this and this is my issue. Now, I'm not being biased or being mean spirited, but lesbians and gay can get married and keep their benefits when us who are disabled, or I want to say, or if we live past past 65, we're penalized getting married.
Yeah. I mean, and that's not something you shouldn't have to feel that, when you're trying to make a life decision and you want to be with somebody, what it's going to do to your finances should not be a factor in whether or not you feel you can get married, that it should deter you. That's just not even fair.
Yes, it's not fair because I have several friends who got married and they've had to divorce to actually live their life.
Mhm.
They got married and when saying and they could pay their bills, and when they got married, the money went down,
Yeah,
and when I say and to me, that's an attack on the family too. It's an
absolutely.
attack on the family
Yeah.
because it's causing some of us to not live by God's way.
Yeah. It's hard, and it shouldn't be a decision in that kind of a choice. That money should not be a factor when you're thinking about, somebody you want to spend your life with. That shouldn't be like, oh, but if we do that, if something happens, or like in my circumstances, he had gotten very ill and passed away. um, and in the process of that, living expenses increased a lot because of special needs that had to be met that the insurance would not cover. And so, I mean, I guess in a way, we were kind of lucky that, we ended up not getting married, because I really don't know what we would have done if we'd had that much less in our income.
Yes, and what do you think should be done about this issue? What?
You know, I mean, I was speaking with someone about this yesterday, not this directly, but Social Security in general. I mean, let's even look at what happens with death benefits. Do you know how long it's been where what they give a surviving spouse is $255 to go towards burial? Explain to me where that's going to help in any way. They need to look at reform for what's being done for the elderly and disabled in these kind of circumstances, because it seems like everything that is established for that group really doesn't ever update. Like, okay, they may do cost of living, regarding each year. And I mean, that even, it ends up by the time they take out for whatever they're going to take out for, you maybe get an extra $4 that you didn't get the prior month. It's not like these cost of living increases are, making these people wealthy or something. But what they need to do is look at some kind of reform, because until they do that, I mean, I just don't know. I can't even comprehend their thinking when, if each individual, let's just throw out a number just to show, if they each need, let's say, $800 a month to live, that's what's been decided based on your circumstances and everything else. Why would it be lowered by such a drastic amount just because you get married? I mean, I guess they figure part of it is, well, food's going to be combined now. But are they trying to say your food purchases would equal $500 a month? Because what else is going to be reduced? I mean, there really aren't any other costs that are going to go away for the month, but the income is. They need to try and make some kind of reform. It just doesn't even make sense what they're doing.
Yes, and that's why that we need to come together like the gay and lesbian group did. They voiced their opinion in Washington D.C. and local states. They marched. They actually got heard. It's time for us to stop being separate.
Yeah.
The blind, the deaf, those with Alzheimer's. We're all fighting. We're not fighting together.
Right.
So that's why I want to put together this workshop right here on August 9th at 3 p.m. to have us to come together as one to fight the issues that we face. It's just it's just like me and you. We have worked,
Right.
and we can only make so much a month.
Yeah.
I've worked 3 times and now I've lost my benefits 3 times, and I have stayed under the cap.
Yeah.
That they set for me.
Right. And that's something too. I don't even understand how they figure that. And that's why, I mean, I'm at a point right now where, I mean, I actually have a little bit of fear of doing things, because I could not live if I lost my health insurance, or, because of the circumstances. I can't lose those benefits. I don't know what I would do if that happened. So it's kind of like, you got to live in fear of being penalized all the time, making any decisions. And, I've gotten to a point in my life, like you're saying, I'm going to tell you what, I worked hard during my life. And I've been at both ends of the spectrum. You know, I made good money at points, and now because of being disabled, I have to be living a very frugal lifestyle, and I can get by. But sure, I would love to be able to do things a little differently. I'd love to be able to maybe go out sometime to somewhere nice and have a dinner, or, you know, enjoy something for a day, but I'm always penny pinching.
Yes, I feel you because I'm doing the same thing because I have to watch where I spend
Hmm.
and because I receive 740 a month and my bills come to 702.
Mm,
So that leaves me with what's left over to do anything. If
right.
something happens where I got to spend $100, $50, or
Yep.
$20, my account goes into the red.
Yep. Yep. And it's that way for a lot of people. I mean, thankfully, I'm not under, you know, this harsh of circumstances, but there are plenty of people that are being put into a position where they have to decide, am I going to get my medications this month that I need, or am I going to get food? And it's horrible to make those decisions. And like I said, even like for a relationship, you should not have to decide how you're going to live your life relationship wise based on your income. That's just, nobody else has to live that way. They have their choice. If they want to get married, they don't get penalized. People don't take their income away. It's only our specific group of individuals, and we're the ones that need it the most right now.
Yes, and I may get and I may get where I'll be saying this, but this is my belief. My belief is that the government needs us to
Hmm.
be at the lower end
Yeah.
because all of us got off of welfare, all of us got off of food stamps. That office would close down. They would not have anyone working.
Yeah.
They would not have anyone working in that office. They would lose jobs. That's the one that
Absolutely.
I have come to that conclusion. That's why things are where they are. They're that way to keep us down.
Right.
So that they can have jobs for themselves.
Right. I mean, it gives them
That's
job
what I believe.
security.
That's what I believe in and want to say and want to say. And I may get in. I don't care because I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's very true. I mean, um, they they do. It seems as though they like to hold people at a certain level and not be able to progress and do better for themselves, because there would truly be less need for them, and that would maybe eliminate positions working in a, you know, a state job where, I'm not saying they're millionaires, but they do receive a decent income for what they're doing, and they want to stay in that position. Absolutely.
Yes. So on August 9th at 3 o'clock, I would like for you to join me and others to discuss what we can do to rectify the situation. Because the Constitution says life, liberty, and when I say and the pursuit of happiness.
Mhm.
Well, we don't have that.
Right.
It also says all men are equal. All men, but when I say but the laws that they got out there, they're not saying it about us.
No.
They're when I say we not tell you something. We not tell you something. The ADA has is like get jobs, like get houses, get cars, like that. But we have a long way to go. We have a
Mhm.
long way to go to actually get where we are self-sufficient to actually get where we can. I would love, I would love to go to France, Italy, Rome, but I can't do it. I can't do it because my income is small, and if I do work, I get penalized.
Right. Yeah, it's a crazy system, and like I said, me myself, I would be in fear if my income went too high that I would lose some very important benefits that I need. I have many medical conditions that I need to be able to see doctors, some specialists on a regular basis, have medications, and if I were to lose that, I would be in such trouble. I mean, I have a friend currently that has serious medical conditions, and like you had stated before, is one of those individuals that has even tossed around the idea of having to divorce in order to be able to receive benefits that they should be entitled to, that they're not currently receiving some medical treatment because they're unable to meet the costs, and people should not have to live that way.
Yes, it's so true. So we want to bring that issue to the forefront because I talked to several people about that, and they said I had no clue. I had no clue. I had no clue that what I had no clue that I had no clue that I that a lot of Americans don't have no clue about the issue.
Right.
So this show is to bring to the forefront the issues that we face. And if you're out there, if you have a family member who's disabled, who knows? You can have an accident today and lose your legs and arms and become disabled, and you'll be facing the same plight that we're facing. As we get older, our bodies break down, knees, elbows, muscles. We're gonna get in that category of disabled.
Yeah.
So it behooves us to make sure that our rights are there when and if that happens. When if that happens.
Yeah. I mean, currently, any discussion that you ever hear regarding this particular group of individuals is, I mean, usually people being scared out of their wits because they're talking about taking away Social Security benefits and things like that. And it's never a conversation about trying to improve the way individuals are living. Like I said, it seems like, I don't know, it feels like people think that, you've got it made. You're set if you're in this position. You don't have to work anymore. You have your insurance provided. It's not an enjoyable life. I mean, where I'm at currently, the living conditions, I am so thankful for what I have. But in my mind, this should be a stepping stone and not a final destination. And with the income that I have, saving money to try and improve those circumstances is next to impossible. You're just trying to survive every month and pray you have a little bit of extra in case you do have an unexpected event happen where you need a little bit of money. So what you're saying is true. It's like you're being held back. You're being held right where you are rather than making this a stepping stone. They're trying to hold it to you as a final destination. And I know this isn't the destination for me.
Yes, I feel the exact same way. And when I say, and that forces a lot of us to work under the table.
Right, and pray you don't get caught.
You're gonna say to work where we don't get the 401ks and things like that. It forces us to break the law.
Right. And one of the things, I hate to interrupt you, but one of the things a lot of people don't even understand, if you have a life insurance policy and it is a whole life insurance policy, it's like you're penalized for that as well. You try and prepare for what's the inevitable, and they also consider that part of your income because you have the ability to draw against it at a certain point once you've held that policy long enough. So even trying to do the things in life that anybody would normally do and not think twice about is, again, another thing that we have to consider as far as what that's going to do. That would actually increase my rent. If I had a whole life insurance policy, they would consider that money that I have because potentially I could have access to it and borrow against it. So, I mean, it seems like you get penalized no matter what you try and do, which is another reason why many, many individuals in this circumstance end up passing away, leaving their families responsible for what's going to happen, because doing what they feel is right is going to penalize them at the moment.
Yes. And we just want to bring this issue to the forefront for you to know what's going on. We are people too. We want to live our lives. We want cars, houses, to be married. We want to go on trips. But a lot of us can't because we're penalized for something that happened to us beyond our control. Again, I'll say lesbian and gay, they can get married, keep their benefits, they can get jobs, do all that right there. But we who are disabled and elderly, we are penalized
for everything we do. Basically, we try and live life comfortably and happily with maybe a partner, and it just, people don't understand that, never mind we're living at the low end of the spectrum to begin with, but just doing the simple everyday things that everybody else is taking for granted, we get penalized for.
Well, thank you, Ms. Robin Rodriguez.
I thank you, Travis.
I hope we made a dent in this situation.
Yeah.
And if you want to see this again, you can go to the YouTube page at the bottom. Don't give up the movement. I would say share this video with everybody you hear, everybody you see and hear, because this issue needs to be brought out to the world. Because, like I said, we're people too. We're intelligent, we're smart, we're talented people. But our talents are stifled. Our talents are not used. All because of a law that says we can't work, we can't get married. Just think about how much talent the world's missing. Just think about that. Somebody may be out there with the cure for cancer, but they can't work. Somebody may be out there with the great idea to make our life a lot easier, but they can't work. We are cutting our foot off. We're cutting our hands off. That's what we're doing now. It's time for us to loose the chains and let the people fly. We are caged birds. Birds in a cage. A bird's meant to fly, not be in a cage. So I would say to you, don't give up on your dreams, hopes, and visions, because I'm not giving up. Even though all these obstacles are before me, I'm still trying to work, and I'm still and and I'm still and and I'm still trying to get married. Because one thing I know, if I keep pushing and pushing, that wall gonna come down. If I keep pushing, it may come down 5 years, 10 years, 15 years later, but that wall gonna come down. That wall gonna come down. I may have some setbacks. I may have to regroup and I may have to regroup, but I'm gonna make it.
Absolutely.
So are you.
Oh, sure.
I don't care what you face in your lifetime. I don't care what giants, what obstacles you face in life. Just know that you had a power to overcome it. That's why I call it don't give up. That's why I say don't give up in the corner. Don't give up on your dreams, hope. Don't give up on your dreams and hopes, please. And when I say and Miss Rodriguez, she also does if you want to talk about this you can, but it's but it's scrolling across the.
Yeah, I'll just mention real quick what it is. It's an amazing company, pretty much brand new to the United States. They've only been here for a couple of years, and it's all let's say green products, from cleaning to makeup. They've just entered the nutritional line as well. And if you'd like to take a look, the web address is running across the bottom of the screen. Very good products, very reasonably priced, because they do everything in-house, no third-party vendors, so they are able to keep their costs down. Don't be afraid that the costs are a little bit lower than you normally see. It's only to benefit you. It's not a reflection of quality.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Travis. I appreciate it.
Because it's my goal to support people. Because I come by myself, that's boring. But if I come, but if 5 or 6, but it's 5 or 6 we come with them, I have someone to talk to while I'm coming up.
Mhm.
I have I can remember I can what we can reminisce about times. When I say and it's my goal to support others. That's my goal in life.
Yeah.
So thank you, Ms. Rodriguez, and have a great day.
Thank you, Travis. I enjoyed it, and I'm going to look forward to the coming meeting where things are going to be discussed. Hopefully, we can get some changes.
Yes. Have a great day, everybody, and thank you so much. And don't give up. Remember, don't give up. Don't give up.